Bravery is an admirable trait in a man, whether he is your enemy or your friend. A brave man is someone that we can respect, and for an army, a brave soldier is an invaluable asset. Some say there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. Let's discuss a brave man in the 2009 film Inglourious Basterds. His name is Sergeant Werner Rachtman. Inglourious Basterds takes place during World War II in German-occupied France. Rachtman is only in one scene, so he's a minor character in the film, but his scene is perhaps one of the most memorable. The Bastards kidnap Werner. They bring him to their leader, Lieutenant Aldo Rain. Werner salutes Rain. Then Rain tells Werner to sit down and point out on the map where his fellow soldiers are, how many, and what kind of artillery they have. Werner says that he can't be expected to divulge information that would put German lives in danger. Rain tells Werner that if he ever wants to eat a sauerkraut sandwich again, he will tell him what he wants to know. Werner says that he respectfully refuses, and even calls Rain sir. Rain intimidates Werner by reminding him of Sergeant Donnie Donowitz. Werner is familiar with Donnie and says he knows that Donnie beats German soldiers with a club. Rain taunts him with a more precise description. He tells Werner that he bashes their brains in with a baseball bat. It's safe to assume that Werner isn't stupid. He knows what his fate will be if he denies Rain the information. Rain says that if he doesn't put his Wiener Schnitzel-licking finger on the map, Donnie will beat him to death with a baseball bat. Werner has so far been respectful and outwardly calm. At this point, he looks Rain in the eye and says, "Fuck you." He looks around at the other bastards and adds, "And your dogs." Rain says they're all tickled to hear him say that, because watching Donnie beat German soldiers to death is the closest thing they get to going to the movies. So Rain hollers to Donnie, says there's a German who wants to die for country. We hear the sounds of the wooden bat clanking as Donnie approaches. We can't see what the bat is hitting, but the script on Internet Movie Database says he's batting rocks. Werner is unfazed as Donnie menacingly approaches. Werner's as calm as before. He doesn't seem afraid at all. Donnie walks up to him and places his bat on Werner's Iron Cross medal. He asks if he got his medal for killing people. Werner responds with 2 words: for bravery. Then Donnie beats Werner to death with the baseball bat and shouts like an announcer at a Major League Baseball game. Rain then tells the other German, Private Butts, to point out on the map where the soldiers are. He's the opposite of Werner. He puts his finger on the map without any hesitation and tells Rain everything he wants to know. Rain and the bastards spare his life, but not before carving something in his forehead so that everyone knows which side he fought on during the war. The character of Sergeant Werner Rachtman is unquestionably brave. He's heroic. He gave up his life to save the lives of his fellow men. He wasn't stupid either. He knew the bastards would kill him for not divulging information. He was even respectful to his enemy, greeting Lieutenant Aldo Rain with a salute. He conducted himself like an exemplary, loyal soldier. It can be said that Werner fought on the wrong side of history, but he was still a loyal soldier. Think about it. Pretend Werner was fighting for the bastards. I'm sure they'd love to have a loyal man like him. I'm sure the French, British, and American armies would have loved to have a soldier with the invaluable qualities of loyalty and honor that the character of Sergeant Werner Rachtman embodies. War can bring out the worst in people. It's important to note that the bastards were also the ones committing war crimes in this scene, not the Germans. Werner being a bad German soldier from World War II does not matter here. What matters is that his character has all the qualities that one could ask for in a soldier. The Internet Movie Script Database has the script for Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds. It's dated as July 2008 and says final draft. If my inference of Rachtman's bravery doesn't convince you, Tarantino wrote more about Rachtman's character in what was to be a voiceover in the film. The script says that Werner used to do the interrogating, and found it pathetic how easily men gave information to save their lives. He always believed that only weak men complied with the enemy when threatened, and he made a vow to himself that he would be buried with his dignity if his role was to die in combat. So when the bastards kidnap him, the roles are reversed and he's put to the test. A test he passed with flying colors. An A+, 100%. Another thing to think about is how Werner didn't even flinch as the bat was coming at him. He didn't move or even instinctively put his hands up. Think about it. What would most of us do in this situation? One can argue that Werner was stupid for not pointing out the location on the map, because he could have lived if he did. But his actions would have caused the lives of other Germans to be lost. It could be argued that the lives of fellow Germans would have been lost regardless of what Werner did, because even though he refused, Private Butts pointed to the whereabouts on the map without hesitation. Perhaps this is getting a bit philosophical, and that isn't the point. The point is that Sergeant Werner Rachtman did it because he would rather die with dignity than live as a coward. And it could be argued that he actually saved the life of Private Butts by giving him the chance to divulge the information and save himself. In fact, if you can think of a braver character than Sergeant Werner Rachtman, please let me know, because I'll be interested in seeing that film. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, because that motivates me to keep making more content like this. My name is Justin Tobin, and thank you for watching. Take care, and rock on.